Hello and welcome to This Week in Dearborn. I'm Mayor Jack O'Reilly, and we're out outside the Centennial Library because of a special event that you're going to learn a little bit more about. And the person probably most responsible for this is Tom Withers with Adopt-A-Watt. And I'm going to have him just kick off how he got into this and you know what he sees as the future for this kind of program.
Oh boy, that's a lot. But anyways, I thank you. Yeah, no, Mayor, I've actually am an old timer at this. I've been working for about 20 years in the environmental area, trying to make a difference. 20 years ago, this December, I invented a bidirectional vertical axis wind turbine. That's a mouthful, but basically, I won an award from Discover magazine, and I was featured on CNN and Good Morning America for that work. And then, out of frustration with getting projects, clean energy projects, energy efficiency projects funded, I developed this business-based model of raising money for cities to transition over to 21st century energy and transportation, and doing it at no cost to taxpayers, not waiting for government on and off again subsidies. And so we take a P3 approach to everything that we do through sponsorship, internet marketing, and as I announced here, hopefully Dearborn will be the first in the nation with crowdfunding for your city's energy efficiency efforts.
Yeah. And again, here, the businesses and charities, I mean, we have churches, we have all kinds of groups that have participated, and for a couple years now. And you want to talk about how that compares with what's going on around the country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Dearborn has led the nation, blazed the trails for us here, and we're really starting to ramp up now across the country. But that shows great inspiration for everybody to continue with us or to initiate programs like this, because we do have, as you mentioned, across the board community support from individuals, nonprofits, foundations, and of course businesses, both mom and pop small businesses to Ford Motor Company was here today. ITC was here today. So that's what's happening. We've actually are coast to coast now. We have projects ongoing in New Jersey and also in the state of California.
I think one of the things that really stands out here is that the fact that your model is based on getting donations, getting people to be willing to contribute money, so that it doesn't have to be the limited funds of the local governments. That local governments, you're facilitating this, and you've done a great job with our Dave Norwood. But I mean, I think that's unusual. How did you? So your whole notion was you're going to help the cities find the funding.
Absolutely, yeah. We do all the heavy lifting on this, as you know, and Dave has put in a time, and that's the way he describes it when he's asked by other sustainability directors, well, what's your investment in this? He said, just a matter of some time, you know. And, we don't ask for any money up front or anything. Just give us the opportunity to approach your potential sponsors in the community and raise money for you so you can move forward with the programs that you want. And so it's proven out to be a very successful formula. Again, you've helped blaze the trail on this here in Dearborn, and we're just very appreciative of being part of the communities here. Like I mentioned in my speech, Adopt-A-Watt loves Dearborn.
Well, I think Dearborn loves Adopt-A-Watt. I think, you know, I was surprised when you said we were one of the first communities to do a parking deck and now to do a parking lot.
You're exactly right. And what's so nice about that is there's 87,000 communities in America, and not all of them have parking decks like you do, wonderful new parking decks, but they all have light poles. So now we can offer this to those communities that don't have parking decks. We can do their light poles. And then what we're really excited about, and Dearborn again will be the first in the nation here, is breaking with this new energy savings agreement funded by residents, and they will receive 5% interest on their money for helping the city become more energy efficient, keeping their taxes down, supporting the environment, and 21st century energy and transportation.
That's great, because that's going to engage the whole community. It means that we all are making a commitment to having to reducing our consumption and having a brighter future.
And that's what's so important. You said it right there, Mayor. And that's what we want to do, is get the whole community behind this. We have the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers now supporting us. We want to get the firefighters and the police. If we're offering residents a way of making 5% interest on their money that they're not getting any interest on practically in the banks, they'll support the city. Then you get your sponsors that I mentioned across the board support there, and we feel we can energize a whole community to get behind our city's desperate needs to become more energy efficient and cut their costs down. It's just a matter of dollars and cents. Hopefully would want to do it, as you, for all the right reasons, for sustainability and protecting the environment, but it will come down to just dollars and cents. It makes economic sense to do this.
Yeah. Not only economic sense, of course, it's the future. It's protecting. It's not having everything going to landfills and consuming all the natural resources, but sustaining our natural resources. So you're going to learn a lot. Today was a great opportunity to find out a lot of what's going on, and so we're going to cover that, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Our partnership with Adopt-A-Watt has been extraordinary, and this is another example. In our West Dearborn Business District, with 32 different partners, we were able to put in, and I think it's 102 lamps that are energy efficient, and we put in charging stations so that we would have that capacity. Now here, we're going to be adding, with 20 partners, we're going to be adding, and there I'll have to check my notes to make sure I'm not going to be off track. I knew the other ones for sure. Is 25 lights and, of course, an electric vehicle charging station. And again, this is part of that whole support on a broader scale that the city of Dearborn is trying to do in order to really adapt for the future, because each of these has 100,000-hour lifespan. That is going to save $176,000, just what we've done so far. And so we're very happy about that, and it's expected to generate about $162,000 going forward. And again, it's really partnerships. These sponsorships are businesses, nonprofits, and others who participate in this long-term plan to transform our community, and by just their donations, and each of those donations then represent opportunity. Again, we know it's incremental step by step, but it's a partnership. It's about the people you'll meet today, support from our government. We have many of our representatives from our great legislators who support these things. We have, of course, Adopt-A-Watt, DTE, and others who've all through this have been partners. Every time we explore new ideas, we find that there are people ready and willing to participate, and that's what we're going to talk about today, because this is transformative. This is where we have to go as the future. It's not only cost savings, it's also lowering our carbon footprint. It's being more responsible. There's so many positives, and we're pleased to have been recognized. SEMCOG last year designated us a Sustainable Community Recognition Award. And again, this is one of those things where it's the things we have to do in a challenged economy, in tough budget times. You still have to invest in the future, and that's what we're going to do. There's no question.
I'm so happy to be here today representing Dearborn Public Library as we celebrate and recognize our sponsors on this wonderful project. Yesterday, our parking lot was full of trucks and activity as the new energy efficient lights were installed and the signage on all the lampposts. And over the past few weeks, as the new electric vehicle charging station was installed and the space was established there for the vehicle to park and charge up, we have had a great deal of community interest and questions. What better place to get your questions answered than the public library? So we're thrilled to be part of this city's green initiative. We think it's a perfect partnership. The community can learn more about this program and the use of energy efficient lighting with regards to cost savings, and they can learn much more about electric vehicles and the charging of them. We have upwards of 800 to 1,000 visitors daily on average to this building. Not to mention during the school year, we have scores of class and school visits by the busloads. Now visitors to our building will see this charging station right here in front of the building, and they will be enjoying the use of these efficient parking lot lights, and they'll know that the future is here at their public library.
I have the pleasure of working with nonprofits, utilities, governments, and electric utilities as well to actually make this a cleaner world and a better place to live. And electrification is a big part of that. So I commend Adopt-A-Watt for what is going on across the nation and what they're doing. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and it really ties well with some of the things we've got going.
in respect to Mayor O'Reilly's leadership. I've had the privilege over the course of the past 2 years to work for the administration, both in the capacity as the executive director of the Auto Recovery Office, which is, as you can imagine, brought me here to the metro area on a number of occasions. But I've also, over the past year, spent the year at the White House as Deputy Director of Intergovernmental Affairs, which has allowed me to work with hundreds and hundreds of mayors across the country. And as it was indicated before, Mayor O'Reilly certainly stands amongst the most progressive and effective leaders for their communities in terms of economic development, in terms of environmental sustainability. So again, Mayor, thank you for your leadership, and you are truly a source of inspiration for a number of other communities across the country. The other sentiment I want to echo is the fact that this program has indeed garnered significant attention throughout the administration. And it was mentioned that this has garnered the attention of the White House. So in that regard, I am pleased to read a letter from the President of the United States congratulating this community and all of the participants on this program today. I send greetings to all of those attending the Dearborn Henry Ford Centennial Library's Adopt a Watt program, Throw the Switch ceremony. Throughout America's history, we have relied on the ingenuity of people to pioneer industries and develop solutions to our most urgent challenges. Fueled by the spirit of entrepreneurship, Adopt a Watt provides opportunities for businesses to sponsor clean technology and clean energy infrastructure, help protecting our environment and saving money for taxpayers and consumers. Through critical public-private partnerships, initiatives like Adopt a Watt prove that we do not have to choose between a thriving economy and a healthy environment. And they remind us of the role we all play in building a cleaner, safer world for future generations. As you launch this program, I congratulate Senator Carl Levin, Mayor Jack O'Reilly, and Dearborn Sustainability Coordinator David Norwood on their commitment to this cause, and I thank Adopt a Watt founder Thomas Wither for sharing his vision for our future. I wish you all the best for an enjoyable event. Signed, President Barack Obama, President of the United States of America.
We've been able to do things here in Dearborn that are really trailblazing. And I would like to remind you that our parking structure project that we did with 102 lights that the mayor talked about was the first parking structure ever in America that went with our program. We're now doing that at other communities, and we also now, this is the first time that we are utilizing the power of our program to fund energy efficient lighting in parking lots. So we know that there are 40,000 more parking structures in America. The US DOE tells us there's 134 million light poles. Only 4% are energy efficient right now. So Dearborn is blazing the way for up to 87,000 more communities in America that can do the same thing now. They don't all have parking structures, but they certainly have light poles. So we can make little things make a big difference, and you start scaling the numbers up, and it really becomes awesome. So I really just admire Dearborn's progressive thinking and sustainability. In fact, I'm going to go on record right now. Dearborn is the most progressively sustainable city in Michigan.
As part of the presentation, the sponsors were recognized for their commitment to improving our community.
First of all, AGT Lighting, BD's Mongolian Grill, Co-op Services Credit Union. Then we have Dearborn Surgery Center. Then we've got Doubletree by Hilton Hotels. Then we've got Dyna Electric. We've got Highland Associates, Mighty ITC, Jan Overhead Door, LaFontaine Import Center, St. Paul Lutheran Church. Now we get into our gold sponsors, and we start off with Bosch, Central Michigan University of Dearborn, Critical Care Medicine Partners, Henry Ford Healthcare Systems, NICA, IBEW, Local 58, Roma Bakery, Ford Motor Company. Just, of course, what can we say? To have Ford Motor Company's support for this is just awesome. It opens up all kinds of possibilities.
These are great examples of the many sponsors who made this program possible. There are a total of 25 sponsors who contributed to the success of this energy-efficient improvement at the library. The ceremony concluded with the first electric car being plugged into the new charging station, and with the 25 new high-energy efficient lights being turned on for the first time. You can find out more about Adopt a Watt on their website, adoptawatt.com.